14 minutes past 7 right on our Impact Radio 102.1 FM. Welcome to the Friday edition of the newspaper review, where we get to analyze all of the front stories that made some of the dailies this fine morning. I hope it's a fine one wherever you are listening to me from, because hey, it's a cool one from this side of Lagos. I know you are listening from different parts of Nigeria. That is, if you're watching us on YouTube at our Impact 102.1 FM, or you're streaming live on Facebook at our Impact Radio 102.1 FM. Yes, you can get to watch us live from any part of the world when you get to do that. It is Friday, and tomorrow is Saturday, and something funny happened yesterday. Yes, it is funny because it's linked to the local government elections happening in Port Harcourt, Rivers State tomorrow. And what is funny about it is the fact that we have two big wigs in the person of Tony Okocha, who happens to be the former chief of staff of Rotimi Amechi, the then governor of Rivers State, and Emeka Beke, who happens to be the APC, now reinstated chairman of Rivers State. And what happened? Well, Tony Okocha, who has said it before that he has been part of a rigging in Rivers State elections, openly said again on national TV that yes, he participated in rigging elections while he was, chief of staff of, Rotimi Amechi as governor, and allegedly, he accused Emeka Beke of also allegedly being part of it, which Emeka Beke outrightly denied, no doubt about it. But he incited two or three things, and he said, were you not part of our man Lucky Walu when we instated him as local government chairman in your local government? Or were you not there when we announced the results of the elections? Man, and that put a big pointer in front of me. If these are our leaders who are doing this and can outrightly come out to say it without fear that nothing can happen, is anything going to change anytime soon? Well, I really can't answer that question. My name is Uche Okoria. Once again, I say welcome to the newspaper review. It's not a one-man show as usual. It's always a double head show.
Hello, good morning. Welcome to the show. My name is Omobolade Oladeko, and as you know, we bring you the dailies every morning, Monday to Friday, and the Big Five on Saturday, just to make sure that you are updated on everything that is happening in Nigeria and the world. So hey, make sure you join us on our social media platforms. We're currently live on YouTube at High Impact 102.1 FM. Just in case you want to see our faces and you want to know what's happening in the studio, we got you. YouTube has that juicy details. Just go on there. We're live. High Impact 102.1 FM. You want to send in your comments, 0907-224-5018, and you want to call into the studio, 0700-1021-1021. I take the numbers again. WhatsApp or a text message, 0907-224-5018, 0907-224-5018. You want to call the studio, 0700 1021 1021 0700 1021 1021. Okay, we're live on YouTube, and follow us on all our social media platforms on X. I keep calling it Twitter. I need to get used to calling it X. On X. On X, on TikTok, and on Instagram, we are at High Impact 102.1 FM. So hey, let's get into the daily, shall we?
Well, moving straight to the dailies this morning, we will be leading with the Punch newspaper, and the Punch leads with this one. Crude for loans, NNPCL votes 8 million barrels monthly for $8.8 billion debt, according to a report. That story is on page 2 of the Punch newspaper. NNPCL votes 8 million barrels monthly for $8.8 billion debt. It has a rider to that one. It says firm repays $2.61 billion or $6.25 billion as Nigeria loses 264 million crude barrels to theft others. Wow. 264 million crude barrels lost to theft. That's huge. That alone can even clear our debt. But, anyways. IOM repatriates 118 Nigerians stranded in Libya. IOM repatriates 180 Nigerians stranded in Libya. You get to see that story in page 30 of the Punch newspaper this morning. Page 30 of the Punch newspaper is where you have that particular story in case you want to find out how they did that and those who are back into the country as we speak from Libya. Above the nameplate, Tinubu plans to bar customs, NPA, others from revenue collection. Tinubu plans to bar customs, NPA, others from revenue collection. That one is on page 2. October 1 deadline, Naira for crude deal fails to take off. October 1 deadline, Naira for crude deals fails to take off. We have that story on page 22. Iran summons envoys as Israel intensifies Beirut bombing. Iran summons envoys as Israel intensifies Beirut bombing. So many things happening in the Israel-Iran conflict. As of yesterday, Israel still attacked a Russian airbase. The first time ever Israel is attacking a Russian airbase based in Syria, which means Russia has been attacked. Anyways, moving on to the last stories that we have on the Punch, which is beside the nameplate of the Punch this morning. Fubara insists on LG pool amid protest by Wike allies. Fubara insists on LG pool amid protest by Wike allies. It is on page 30. And finally, 36 corpses recovered in Niger boat crash. 36 corpses recovered in Niger boat crash. It is on page 9, and that is really a sad one. I think this is from the 160 which are still missing. 36 has been recovered, and we saw an exclusive video of the boat itself that was involved in the accident, and you could understand why the accident happened. It was overpacked with people, over 300 people. I still even saw someone as if someone was still hawking in it, selling things to people. And what was noticed the most is no one was having life jackets on, which is really sad. But that's the much we have on the Punch this morning.
A very quick look at the Guardian newspaper. We're taking a look at the front page of the Guardian newspaper. It says Nigerian teachers lured by passion, imperiled by political class, broken system. Wow, that is I don't even know what to call it. Now, you'd see a picture right there of a teacher, writing something on the board that says, "Would you like to become a teacher?" Then you'd see a student answer, "Politics is more lucrative." The big story is on page 4 and 5. It's not a very, it's not a very interesting thing. Every time you hardly see, maybe not hardly, you don't see a lot of people that are enthused wanting to toe that line of profession. You don't see a lot of people. The majority are not people that are towing that line of profession. I mean, people are now looking into, yes, passion. I love what I want to do. But again, you think about it and you remember the economy and you're like, I want to live on Banana Island. I am not so sure if this is what is going to get me there. And it makes it a bit, not sad, but very, very sad. I know people that are passionate about teaching. I have a friend that is what she wanted to do. She went to school. She went to fashion school. She left fashion school. She went to train as a teacher. She had a master's. She did the whole training for Montessori and all of that. She wrote exams on exams. Even during her wedding period, she wrote exams just because she's so passionate about wanting to be a teacher and all of that. And I wonder how many people that are there that are like her. Because it is not a very popular, it's not a popular conversation.
Not really.
It's not a popular conversation.
Most people are there bound they're just there bound by circumstances.
It's not fair.
Really not fair. And it's basically because at the end of the day, they feel like, okay, yes, because for me, teaching is like one of the most important aspects of everything.
It is something that you must re-echo.
Do you understand?
It is important.
It is so important, so important, and it's so funny when the society, the top guns or the elite of the society, and everyone is not paying attention to how poor the remuneration of teachers are. Because for goodness sake, you're leaving your children in the hands of these people, and these people are not even earning enough. Like, you're trusting people who are not even earning enough to take your children to become something amazing.
That's a good point.
Like, you should be scared. You should be scared.
That is
It
a
is
very
crazy,
good
you know.
point. It is a very good point. I mean, you see it. You know what? Let's just go on. ASU, Nigeria in hopeless state. Situation worse than 1984. I was having a conversation with somebody yesterday, and the person was talking about, this is an older person, the person was talking about the fact that, life back then, as much as they used to shout that, oh, it was worse, it was this, it was that. I mean, there's never been a time where
We're
there's
not complaining. Never.
there's never been a time in whatever president's tenure, whatever year it is, that we're not complaining. We're not
Never.
saying no. This
time.
no, this country is this and that. I mean, what was Fela singing about?
You get me?
Like, what was he? What was he singing about?
Yeah.
And look at where we're at right now.
And we hear some of those songs and be like, man, if this man was here, man, albums upon albums upon albums.
The conversation is, even if this man was here, would he be happy? Like, it's such a sad thing. When you're singing about something, you're a freedom fighter, you expect that, even if you die as a martyr, you are, how do I put this? You have fought for something, and you're hopeful that in
will
years
lead
to
to
come it
something.
will lead to something and you would win.
But
Do you know how you'll be turning right now, hearing that things have gotten worse?
I saw a skit one time regarded to, I think it was themed on this whole fella thing and him coming back. And it was hilarious. I don't even I don't even go into details. It was really hilarious. But it is the truth. It's the situation of things. Things are worse than it used to be. And there's no there's no light at the end of the tunnel that we see yet.
Anyways, moving on. Bureau knocks LASG officials for failure to file, submit assets forms. You find this story on page 28. Court grants Taraba ex-governor Ishaku 150 million naira bail in alleged 27 billion fraud suit. I had a joke.
Yeah.
I had a joke. I don't know. Well, it's alleged, alleged. I mean, alleged. Let me say it again.
Alleged.
Alleged. I
And,
mean,
they'll be back in court November 4, November 7.
in about a month's time. So
Uh-huh.
yeah. So let me just leave it, because tension as pro Wike Fubara camps head for climax in Rivers council polls. You find this on page 6. I mean, almost throughout the week, or since last week, this has been the major story. What's happening between Wike and Fubara? It has not been exciting, really. Companies battle inflation, FX issues, lose 30% of share value in 9 months. This is on the business page 18. Amid food inflation concerns, NBS claims average healthy diet now is about 1,255 naira. In which place?
I was about to ask. Really?
Where? Hello, sir. In which place? But okay, you'll find this on page 6. Yes, page 6. Tinubu submits tax reform bills to National Assembly. May rename FIRS. It's not about changing the name. Even if you change the name, have you changed the system? Is there something that is gonna work? What are we changing the name for? It's like when we change the national anthem. Why? Like, that's my question. Like, why? What are we changing all of these things for? But anyways, you'd find this story on page 3. Yes, page 3 of the Guardian newspaper. And that's it on the front page of the Guardian newspaper.
Well, remember, you can always be a part of conversation. You can tell us what's going on in your vicinity, how you feel about things happening in the country, or basically just for you to react to some of the stories which you have heard this morning on, from the front page of the dailies we have today. 09072245018. That's the number you can text or WhatsApp at 09072245018. But in case you want to call us, it is on 0700 1021 1021. That is 0700 1021 1021. Now, the Daily Trust newspaper, it leads with a big one. Well, the last story which we spoke about. FG targets more revenue from taxes as Tinubu sends 4 bills to National Assembly. It has to write to that story to rename FIRS, harmonize states, LG levies, capture cryptocurrency. Oh, really? Government looking for more money, economist. That one is page 4. Cryptocurrency, really? Wow. For all the victimization that cryptocurrency have gotten in the last few years. Anyways. Underneath that story, court stops VIO from stopping impounding vehicles, fining motorists. Court stops VIO from stopping impounding vehicles, finding motorists. That story is on page 12. I'm so sure so many people will be excited about this story. Underneath it, Senate to amend Northwest Southeast Development Commissions Act, which is on page 11. Underneath that one, FCT police arrest 4 kidnappers, recovers arms. Good news on page 29. We can't wait for this to come to an end. Tinubu urges terrorists to surrender. Abdul Salami blames weak governance. Tinubu urges terrorists to surrender as Abdul Salami blames weak governance. You want to find out about that story? It is on page 5 of the Daily Trust newspaper this morning. Underneath the nameplate of the Daily Trust, Niger boat mishap, death toll hits 36 as 20 more bodies recovered. Death toll hits 36 as 20 more bodies recovered. So as it stands now, we still have over 140 bodies missing. Middle East tension pushes global oil prices up. Middle East tension pushes global oil prices up. Yes, as of now, the crude Brent oil is now at $74 per barrel, which used to be below that before Israel and Iran tension rose a couple of days ago. Really, really sad what's happening in the Middle East. Insecurity threatening Northerners' existence. That is according to the ACF. Insecurity threatening Northerners' existence. You want to go find out all of that detail? You need to go look at page 4 of the Daily Trust. That's the much for the Daily Trust this morning.
Just before we move over to the second half of the show, we need to take a look at the Vanguard newspaper this morning. And it says minimum wage disquiet as federal government makes selective payment. The writer says labor leaders say government insensitive to suffering of workers. Workers lament hardship. Many sleep in offices. Trek to work due to high transport cost. Delay affecting productivity. Varsity workers worst hit. This was stated by SANU. That's the SSANU. You find the story on page 5 of the Vanguard newspaper. Just above the nameplate, you'd see federal government denies anti-North buyers in distribution of road project. Says North has 52%, South has 48%. We're voting more resources to fight terror and banditry. Federal government states. Abdul Salami blames institutional failure, unemployment over insecurity in the North. Soludo is problem, not solution in Anambra, even though that sounds like a double entendre. Obiora Okonkwo is stating this in page 15. NPR hikes Banks interest income up to 141.8% to 6.9 trillion naira. Every day we hear big numbers. Very big numbers. Reps to AGF expedite trials of persons in prolonged detention. Expedite trials of persons in prolonged detention. Find this on page 9. Courts to VIO and others. You have no power to seize vehicles and impose fines. You have no power to seize vehicles, impose fines. Page 9 has our story. PDP ABC protest Rivers local government elections. PDP APC protest Rivers local government elections. Page 7 has our story. In the world of sports, AFCON 2025 qualifier will approach Libya game like World Cup final. Egovo is saying this will approach Libya game like World Cup final. Niger boats mishap, 70 bodies recovered. Niwa is saying that. There's a writer and it says ill-fated boats on illegal operation. This was stated by the president. Mourns victims. Another one says Governor Bago talks tough on frequent mishaps, loss of lives and properties. Such a sad one right there, but you would find that story on page 6 of the Vanguard newspaper. So far, that is all on the Vanguard newspaper.
Remember, you can always be a part of the conversation if you reach us on 0700 1021 1021 for your calls, or you can text us or reach us via WhatsApp on 0907 224 5018. Let's go on a short break, and when we come back, we will move into the second half of the show where we'll be speaking to Dr. Dayo Kayode. Don't go nowhere. The newspaper review will be right back.
Welcome to High Impact Studios, the place where creativity meets production perfection. Need an outstanding audio production? We deliver professional jingles, engaging voiceovers, and attention-grabbing radio promos that stand out from the crowd.
If you're in the podcasting world, we've got the ideal recording space for you. Our studio is designed to ensure pristine sound, making it the perfect place to bring your podcast to life.
But we don't stop at audio. Looking for a space to film your next big project? High Impact Studios offers customizable spaces for movie sets and video production,
giving you everything you need to create stunning visuals.
Whatever your vision, High Impact Studios is here to make it a reality.
Let's create something amazing together.
Welcome to High Impact Studios, the place where creativity meets production perfection. Need an outstanding audio production? We deliver professional jingles, engaging voiceovers, and attention-grabbing radio promos that stand out from the crowd.
If you're in the podcasting world, we've got the ideal recording space for you. Our studio is designed to ensure pristine sound, making it the perfect place to bring your podcast to life.
But we don't stop at audio. Looking for a space to film your next big project? High Impact Studios offers customizable spaces for movie sets and video production,
giving you everything you need to create stunning visuals.
Whatever your vision, High Impact Studios is here to make it a reality.
Let's create something amazing together.
Venue on the Sea. A perfect and top-notch location for your special social and corporate occasions. Here at High Impact Cruise, we handle your events with elegance while providing you with outstanding service. An amazing experience you will never forget. For more inquiries, call 0815-181-9580, 0818-824-5734, or visit www.highimpactcruise.com. High Impact Cruise, dream, discover, explore.
Impact Radio 102.1 FM. In case you are just joining us 21 minutes before 8 a.m., well, you have missed the first half of the show where we, take a look at some of the stories that made front page in some of the dailies that we have with us today. But remember, you can always be a part of the conversation if you reach us on 0700 1021. 1021, or you can WhatsApp us or text us on 0907 224 5018. We will be speaking with our in-house analyst, who is a social-political analyst, in the person of Dr. Adedayo Kayode. Good morning, Dr. Kayode. Hello, good morning, Dr. Kayode.
Yes, I want to say good morning. Good morning. It's a Black Friday for me. Trying to give my brother a belated burial here in Abuja.
Oh, so sorry about that.
My junior brother that passed away.
Yeah.
But we got to do what we got to do.
Okay. Oh, well. So sorry for your loss. One more time, I accept my condolence, sir.
Yes, thank you. I appreciate it.
Okay, sir. So many situations happening in the country still. Are you with me, sir?
You say what?
Yes, I said so many situations still happening in the country, and one of them still is the NNPCL issues. We see today on the papers that 8 million barrels have been voted monthly for our $8.8 billion debt, which happens to be 6.25 billion now, as 2.6 billion has been cleared so far. And we also see on the papers where the NNPC is talking about Nigeria losing 264 million crude barrels due to theft. Also, on the papers, the Naira for crude deal, which is meant to start October 1, did not kick off. What exactly are we going to do with the NNPCL completely always, delaying issues over issues, crude for loans and all of that, but nothing is coming out of it? How do we get the NNPCL to actually do its work?
Yes, you see, NNPC will never do what it's supposed to do for the people, in as much as the government in power, not necessarily this particular one, it's inclusive, but not just this one, even preceding ones, are using NNPC as a conduit pipe to siphon our government. If you take a kind of Koski look from 1998, you will see that we are experiencing, I don't want to use the word that we are experiencing, but we can use another word that we replace that word theft there. In NNPC has been increasing from one successive government to the other. And do you know why? Because it is very easy for them to cover up the books in NNPC than in another place. Now, we're talking about development of our social infrastructure. Social infrastructure. Refineries are supposed to be social infrastructure because we have our living crude oil. So what do we need to do? Start up our refinery so that people can enjoy. That phase is what makes it social infrastructure. But they will never. Again, rather than we the people coming up with facts and figures as regards this same NNPC, we will never. I was just talking with somebody this morning. I said, yes, we have been bereft of bad leadership. But bad leadership that we are experiencing in this country is an outcrop. Bad followership. Bad followership in terms of they will never. Okay, if you take the statistics now take a statistics this morning as regards people that are listening to commentaries, social political commentaries on both radio and television, and then compare it to people that are watching a Nollywood film and are watching this Indian film and all that, you're going to see that the latter will be higher than the former. I don't know the kind of education they get there as regards their environment, on how to make the environment better. But go to better countries like America, UK, France. You see the youth even being accustomed to understanding the socio-economic circumstances around them. Go and look at the youth there now, how they are following bumper to bumper socio-economic policies of who to vote for between my brother Trump and my other sister Harry. Unlike here, they will never ask what you want to do. They will never ask you how you want to solve one problem or the other. You know? So not until when we start to do that, all these figures we are talking, how many of them understand it? All these figures. They don't. So there is no way we get out of this when we have adequate, effective, purposeful, and conceptual followership, because it is from there that leadership emerges.
Well, truly, it is until that time where the followers, pushing that we can get good leadership. But let's move on to other stories that we have on the front page. And this is huge, because now we see again that the president sent 4 tax bills yesterday to the National Assembly. Everyone is saying it. Tax again, tax again, tax again, tax again. Also, we saw recently the CBN increasing the interest rates for loans, which is on the double digits now at 30-something%, which we've been complaining for years now, even when it's at 11%, and the people are saying it is impossible for there to be improvement at a double-digit interest rate. Is this the way forward? Are we going to continue to keep having different taxes bill? Although, to be fair to the government, just yesterday...
Another thing is this.
Hold on, sir. I'm coming, sir. I'm coming, sir. I just want to add something to it. Just yesterday, they actually took out VAT from diesels and some other products. But do you think that will work out, sir?
They take what?
They took out VAT from products like diesel and some other products.
Oh.
Yes.
Oh, my God. Okay, listen to this. When in quotes now, the president, when the president made his October 4th speech,
yes, sir,
how many people sat down to analyze it? How many people? Especially the area I was saying that our direct investment, whatever, has increased and all that. What did we ever ask ourselves? What are the indices that is in this man to say yes? Our foreign direct investment has been moved up. 2, when he's saying yes, out of this you have paid this, you have paid that, this is how much is it. Did we take our time to also interrogate it? What are the indices on ground to be able to ascertain that? Rather, you see some people just aiming him. Now, you have been ever increasing taxes and tariffs ever since. Let me shock you on this. My neighborhood has now been moved to Band A.
Okay.
And between you and me, that been having lights for I don't want to say 24 hours, because sometimes they dip it and within 30 minutes or whatever they bring it back.
Yeah, true.
The question now is this: what are the new facilities that you have put in place within those short 2 weeks that is not making you to supply all that power? What are those facilities? So that means you have the capacity to do this before now. But because you are looking for, you are trying to suppress the people, denying the people all these facilities I mean, all these infrastructure, so that you can say they are not there. And then when you are not giving it, you now put money on them. Let me also shock you. How many people are aware of what Fubara said in Rivers? When I heard that thing, I was shocked.
Is it about him, about the amount, him knowing about where all the money is?
Listen to this. He said that you come and see all the infrastructural development he has been doing in the Rivers. He said he has never borrowed a dime
from it. Okay.
Towards that.
Yeah.
So in that sense, he wonders when governor are saying they are borrowing money, they are using the money to do. In that sense, they should go and ask Wike all the money he borrowed. What has he used it to do? Please, he hasn't increased the tax of people. No. But there's a lot of infrastructure there. Another governor also said it. That when you don't see development in your area, ask your governors. So you cannot see the way we are being bamboozled. We do some kind of protest or terror. And they're trying to come and stop the place. That's why they do it. And we got to court and say. So I wish different people can be thinking, coming out with different concepts, how to dislodge the respectful political class. You tell me one party today, when it's not favoring them, they move to another one. When they remove them, people moving from one party to the other. About 3 or 4, 5 political parties within 6 months. So tell me what's the ideology of such a person. And that's what has made me to say, look, Nigerians, we got to talk about ideological democracy away from palliative and deceptive form of government. Because when we start discussing that and see, they'll be able to know who among you is not going to deceive us with palliative and tax. And you're now saying our GDP is also growing. What is it that you are manufacturing? Is it not the taxes you are paying for people? Is it not the increases in the tariffs of social amenities? These are issues. How many people are interrogating it? Especially the educated elite. We got to wake them up. Awake, national educated elite. Got to wake them up.
Well, it's a really, really, really fine place for us to leave it this morning, Dr. Kayode, because to be honest, our elites, especially the educated ones, really, really need to wake up, need to educate the younger generations coming forward. But just before you go, your final words for us so that we can, move with that one.
Yes. Different generation. They shouldn't think power is a la carte. They should not need to follow. They should learn that before you can become proficient in anything, there is what we call period of apprenticeship. They should look for mentors. I was impressed of people in my local government who were just discussing that very day. They were enjoying themselves. They even bought me drinks and suya. So that it's not that they are looking up to me to buy them drinks and suya. And they said they appreciated the way I was talking. October 1st, they came to pay me homage. And they said, yes, this is the kind of person we want to follow. And between you and me, presently, I have nothing less than 500 of them in my neighborhood that I'm trying to now educate. And they are following me. Let people also do that. Let other youths emulate them. Look for leaders in your environment. It doesn't really mean to be a political leader. No. People that can mentor you properly, people that can direct you appropriately, people that can direct you on a path that be effective in your development. Because the youth, between you and me, anybody likes it or not, are the leaders of tomorrow. And without the youth, I'm telling you, Nigeria will be no Nigeria tomorrow. So youth of Nigeria, please arise and let us do the right thing together. This is the right time to start doing that. Thank you.
Thank you very much, Dr. Kayode. It's always a pleasure to having you on the newspaper review.
Mhm. It's my pleasure being with you today to enjoy the rest of your weekend.
And you too, sir. Like Dr. Kayode said, the youth has to arise because at the end of the day, no matter what, in as much as, yes, you've been hearing it, I've been hearing it, even my father heard it, that the youth are the leaders of tomorrow. My father told me he's not yet a leader of tomorrow, and I've been told, and I guess I'm going to say so to my children too, but it is the truth. It is from the persons that are coming, the next generations, the generations after the generations after the next generations, that are going to be in charge of the country. And so it's important that we, as the future of the country, we need to start preparing ourselves to be ready to take over the country, to be ready to do the right things. And how do you take over? It's not by being in positions of saying you must be president or saying you must be governor. It's by playing your part as a citizen. And how do you play your part? Come out to vote. When you vote, defend your vote. Even if it's not time for elections, speak the truth to power. Speak the truth to people around you who are being misled by, political, bigwigs who want to push them away from the sides of positivity towards the side of negativity. Are you a shining beacon in your society whereby they can look up to you and say, okay, if this person can be going through the right path, there's nothing stopping us from going through the right path? Because at the end of the day, when you go through the negative path of, trying to rig elections, of trying to go with the political bigwigs who are ruining us, there's no positivity out of it. Because, hey, you will give birth to children who are still going to live in that same society, which has no positivity. So at the end of the day, it's the same cycle over and over and over and over again. And like we said when we were starting, at no time, at no presidency, have we ever said Nigeria has been in very, very good state. I think it's time for us to put an end to that cycle when we say, okay, things will keep getting worse with each tenure of presidency, because that's how it has been. From the time of Obasanjo to the time of Yar'Adua to the time of Goodluck Jonathan to the Buhari and now to President Tinubu. Things keep getting worse. And we do hope we can break that cycle to a time where the next president or even this administration can say, okay, things are getting way better. Things are now better than how it used to be in 2015. Things are now better than how it used to be in 2009. Things are now better. That is what we are looking forward to. Well, this is how I'll put an end to today's edition of the newspaper review, the Friday edition. But tomorrow, yes, we will be back with the Big Five. And the Big Five is all about all of the five major stories, that, made it throughout this week on the paper. So, hey, you want to look forward to that. In case you missed any of, this week's episode, you need to look forward to Saturday, tomorrow morning, so you can get a recap of five of the biggest stories that made it this week in Nigeria. My name is Uche Okoria. We'll be back on Monday with another exciting edition of the newspaper review. But until then, have yourself a beautiful, beautiful weekend.
Join us Mondays to Fridays, 7:05